In the previous lesson, we learnt about communication process, encoding, decoding. We learned about how should we send the message, how should the receiver receive it, what are the via medias, and what should be the tone in the messages so that the message is clearly focused and sent to the person and he decodes it in a proper manner and sends the feedback. In the second lesson, we are going to read about, talk about, discuss about reading to interpret tone, structure, and intent. Now, what do we mean by this? Reading isn't just about what's written, but also how and why is it written. That means we just need to understand that tones refer to the attitude or emotional quality conveyed by the person through words, choice, and sentences, plus the style. Now, what is interpreted tone? What do we understand by interpreted tone? Interpreted tone is improving critical reading and listening skills, enhances emotional intelligence and communication, at the same time aids in analyzing speeches, emails, and conversations. Now, to fully grasp a message, we need to pay attention to the following parameters. The first one is tone, the mood or emotion behind the word. The second is structure, how the information is organized. And the third is intent, the reason or goal behind the communication. Tone, understanding the emotion. We normally, whenever we are angry, we are happy, we are in a good mood, our tone is different. Our tone is decided by the gesture which is there in our mind, which is there in our senses. Tone gives a proper reflection of your emotion. It is how you represent yourself emotionally. Definition: tone refers to the emotional quality of the message, how the writer or the speaker feels. How you feel, what you feel, accordingly your tone is going to be that. You can see on this PPT, there is a speaker through which vibrations are coming, and we have three emojis down. One is showing a happy gesture, the other is okay, and the third one is sad. That means your tone reflects your mind, your emotions. Now, there are two types of tones. One is formal versus informal tone, and the other is friendly versus aggressive tone. Talking about these tones, coming to the next slide. Formal versus informal tone. Informal tone, a professional and respectful tone used in official languages. See, when we are talking about official languages, we need to be respectful, we need to be authenticated, and we need to represent ourselves in a very proper manner so that the other person doesn't get offended. We can't be casual, the approach can't be casual. So, a professional and respectful tone is used in official communication. Now, taking the example of the same, the report will be submitted by Friday as per the deadline. This is very authentic, this is very respectful, and both the lines, both the sentences, the report will be submitted by which date? By Friday as per the deadline. Is showing professionalism, is showing respect in the sentence, and is totally official and communicated. Now, what if we talk about informal tones? A casual and conversational tone used in friendly or less formal context. For example, hey, just wanted to check if you saw the file I sent. Now, in this tone, informal tone, you can be informal with your friends, you can be informal with the colleagues around you. If you are in a very light mood when nothing professional is happening around, with your family, with your friends, your tone can be informal. Now, taking the sentence and the example, hey, just wanted to check if you saw the file I sent. Casual approach, hey, conversational, just wanted to check. Tone used friendly as less formal context, if you saw the file and I sent. Clear? Friendly versus aggressive tone. Now, talking about friendly tone, it's warm, it's approachable, it's respectful, it's often includes polite language and an inviting attitude. That means Friendly tone is warm. It's not warm that it's not hot, it's not happening, it's warm. Warm means it's mild, your behavior is nice, you're friendly, you're warm, welcoming, you have small smile on your face, you're approachable, the other person whom you're going to talk to feels that emotion in you, you're respectful to the other person, and you're including a very polite language and inviting attitude. Now, taking the example of this friendly tone, we can talk about hi, hoping you're doing well, just checking in on the status of the report, let me know if you need any help. Divide the sentence into forms, into three respectful things which we have talked about in friendly tone. It's warm, hi, this is a warm welcome. Approachable, hope you're doing well, this is respectful. Checking in on the status of the report includes your polite language, and let me know if you need any help includes your inviting attitude. So the other person who is listening to what you are saying is taking your tone in a very friendly way. Now, talking on the next one, which is an aggressive tone, harsh, demanding, confrontational, it may sound rude or impatient. How? The example set over here is, why isn't the report done yet? I have been waiting long enough. You need to hurry up. Now, if you divide the sentence into harsh, demanding, confrontational, and rude, impatient, you can understand the sentence completely. Why isn't the report done? This is harsh and this is demanding as well. I have been waiting long enough. This is confrontational. It may sound rude or impatient. You need to hurry up. So, understanding the topic completely, different tones. Friendly tone means being friendly, being approachable, being respectful, being polite. Your language should be calm and you should be inviting. Your attitude should be very soft. Aggressive tone is harsh, it's demanding, it's confrontational, the behavior is very rude, and it sounds impatient. Now, talking about the structure, recognizing how it is built, talking about the definition of this. Structure is how the content is organized, like the blueprint of a message. Now, the structure of the message should be organized. It should be exactly the same as the blueprint of the message. That means it should be clear. What are the common structures in this? Chronological, order of time. That means a chronological message means the order of time should be there. You should be understanding it. You should be very specific in saying that I joined in this date, I worked on these parameters, I had growth in this parameter, I got promoted over here, and now I'm working like this. It should be in order of time and steps. Problem, there should be a solution to the problem. Comparison comes with contrast. Point, evidence, and conclusion. Talking about common structures, we have 4 common structures in which we are talking over here. The first one is chronological, which defines order of time. The second one is problem, which has a solution automatically. The third one is comparison, which comes with contrast. And the fourth one is point, evidence, and conclusion. Now, talking about the first one, chronological structure, which we are talking about order of time. Definition. What does chronological structure mean? Present ideas or events in the order they happened. Presenting any idea, any thought or any event in a proper ordered manner according to the time. Used when explaining a process, giving instructions, or telling a story. There can be 3 situations. 1, explaining a process. 2, giving instructions. And the third one, telling a story. Now, taking the example of the same. First, I joined the company in 2020, order of the time. Then I was promoted to team lead in 2021. Finally, I became a project manager last month. So, I described my journey of work according to the order of time. I joined in 2020, I was promoted in 2021, I became a manager last month. This follows the sequence of events over time. So the definition is that you have to talk about present ideas, events, and what's happening. Then you have to see explaining a process, giving instructions, or telling a story. And the example for it is, you joined a company in 2020, in 2021 you were promoted, and now when you've done a good work of time, when you overtime, you have became the project manager last month. Problem, solution, and structure. Definition starts by identifying a problem that provides one or more solutions. Any problem whatsoever it is needs to be identified. We need to identify the problem. Unless and until the problem is identified, we cannot come up with the solution. Identifying the problem, start by identifying a problem, then provide one or more solutions. The first thing that we come to know that, okay, now we have a problem. What is the problem? Need to find the problem. Once you find the problem, you provide the solutions. What is the second step to it? Writing reports, proposals, or making a case for the change. You need to report the problem. You need to take proposals for the problem. You need to make a case for the change. There is a problem, it needs to be changed, it needs to be rectified, so the problem has to be registered. Example, the team productivity has dropped. To improve this, we are introducing a new time tracking system. The problem is that the team's productivity has dropped. Maybe the parameters are not covered properly. Maybe there is no timeline guideline given to them. Maybe they are not working according to the timeline given line. So the productivity is dropping. Now we have understood the problem. How do we fix the problem? We fix the problem that we need to improve on time tracking systems. We need to improve through time tracking. We need to improvise the systems. We need to check on the team whether they are doing the things on the guided timeline. It first defines the issue and then presents a fix. Comparison, contrast, structure, and similarities and differences. Definition: compares two or more things to show how they are alike or different, used when analyzing options, making decisions, or explaining changes. That means compares two or more things. Now in this slide we are talking about two or more things which can be done simultaneously at the same time with different conclusions, but allowing collaborations, requiring daily commuting and teamwork. That means we can do two different things, two same things with different scenarios, but the output can be same. Used when analyzing options, making decisions, or explaining changes. Example: unlike remote work, office work requires daily commuting. However, both allow for collaboration and teamwork. Now if we describe the example, people are there who work from home. People are there who definitely come to the office according to a time schedule, do their work, complete their deadlines, guidelines, and move on, go back. Now if we see the response, a person working from home and the person working in the office, both are doing their work at the same time, with the same functioning, with the same output, the collaboration. So doing two or more things to show how they are alike and different. Point, evidence, conclusion, and structure. Definition: starts with a key idea, point, supports it with facts, examples, evidence, and ends with the takeaway conclusion. That means anything starts with a key idea, has a point, supports it with facts and examples. You need to have a key idea first. With that key idea, you need to support that key idea with examples and evidences. Then you need to end with a takeaway conclusion. Key idea is there, point is there, support system is there, examples and evidences are there. So the conclusion should be definitely taken. Making arguments, writing essays, or giving presentations. Through ideas, through arguments, through presentations, we can clear the points, we can show the evidences, and we can come to a conclusion. For example, remote work increases productivity. A 2023 study says employees were first 15% more efficient from home. So we should offer flexible work options. Now the point, what is the point over here? Remote work increases productivity. That is the point. What is the evidence? Evidence is that in 2023, study showed that 15% more efficiency is there when people are working from remote locations. So the conclusion is we should offer flexible work options. That is the conclusion. This structure builds a persuasive logical argument. Reading to interact, tone, structure and intent. Identifying intent, understanding the purpose. We should know the purpose of what we are thinking, planning and understanding to do. Definition. Intent is the purpose behind the message. Why did the sender write or say this? Anybody who is talking about a particular topic, who is intending to drop a message to somebody else, to convey his communicative system to the other person, has an intention. Why is he saying that? Now, commenting on this, we have common intents: to inform, to persuade, to instruct or to request. Either he wants to inform or he wants to persuade the other person on some productive thing. Third, he wants to instruct him for something. Or four, he wants to go for a request. Now, talking about the common intent with the example: informing, sharing a data or update. The example can be, the office will be closed tomorrow. This is information. Second, persuade, convince or influence. This product would improve your workflow significantly. This is the example. If you have to persuade somebody, this product would improve your workflow significantly. Instruct, give directions. Please upload your ID and resume before Friday. This is the instruction which you are giving to the other person. You are coordinately telling him to please upload your ID and resume before Friday. Now coming to the request, that is the last one. Request, ask for help or support. Could you please send me the latest report? Discussing about all the 4 points of common intents with examples: inform, persuade, instruct and request. Coming to the next one is the example. We need everyone's update by Friday to finalize the report. The intent to this is to request action oriented. We are requesting for an action that everyone should update and finalize the report by Friday, and action should be taken. How to identify intent? Ask yourself, what does the writer want me to do, feel or understand? Look at the call to action or closing lines. Thank you.